Hello queens. I'm back at y'all with another client tutorial, and today I'm showing y'all how I created this green cut crease. This is definitely a look for my dramatic queens, so without further ado, we're jumping straight into the video. I'm starting it off by cleaning my client's face, and once her face is clean, we're going to proceed to doing her eyebrows. And to outline her brows, I'm using my LA Colors eyebrow pencil, and this one is in the shade Black Brown. To fill in the front of her eyebrows, I'm going in with my Nicka K brow pencil, which was also in the shade Black Brown, but this one just happens to be a little lighter than the LA Colors brand. And I'm also going to brush through the brows as I go just to make sure everything is nice and blended. Before I go in and clean up her brows, I'm taking my I.envy clear eyelash glue and I'm just applying this throughout her brows. It's going to help me lay the hairs down in place, and to mold them down, I'm using the spoolie end of my pencil. To clean up her eyebrows, I'm going in with these two concealers. One is from Nicka K and the other is from RK by Kiss, and they're in the shades 06 and Chestnut. First, I'm going in with the Nicka K concealer, which was in the shade 06, and I'm using it to clean up underneath her arch. To clean up the remainder of the way, I'm going in with my RK by Kiss concealer, which was in the shade Chestnut. Now that her brows are nice and clean, I'm going in with my Dermablend translucent powder, and as y'all can see, I applied it at the front of her brows to lighten them up. Now I'm using it to set some of the concealer in place. For an eyeshadow base, I'm going in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade White, and I applied about a dime size amount onto her lids. Now I'm just blending it out throughout her eyes. You want to make sure you take your time with this step and try to blend it out as evenly as possible. This product does dry fast, so I like to work one eye at a time. Since we are doing a dramatic look, I want my colors to really show, so I made sure that I applied that white base all over her eyes. I want it to be as pigmented as possible. Once you're finished blending out the base, your client's eyes should look something like this. And now it's time to go in with eyeshadows. So first I'm taking this eyeshadow from my Bperfect Carnival XL palette. It was in the shade Nuke. As y'all can see, it's like this dark emerald green shade and it's very pigmented. I'm just going to start by packing this on the outer edge of her eyes. Now I'm going in with this grass green color, which is also from my Bperfect Carnival XL palette, and I'm packing this over the top of the first shade that we used, and as I blend it out, I'm going to alternate between the two shades. To finish off my transition, I mixed together this yellow shade with the lime green shade. As you can see, I used more so of the yellow, and I'm applying this over the last shade that we used using this Wet n Wild taper blending brush. All the eyeshadows that I used in today's tutorial came from my Bperfect Carnival XL palette. You want to make sure you apply those transition shades all the way up toward the front of your client's eyebrow, because we will be cutting the crease, so you need to ensure that those colors will be shown once the crease is cut. As y'all can see, I finished one eye. Now I'm just about to repeat the same process on the other side. To cut her crease, I'm going back in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade White, and I'm just gonna first stamp out my shape, and then I like to go back in and perfect it. When doing a cut crease, you want to make sure you take your time, because this is a very tedious step, and I like to make sure that mine is as round as possible. Some people like theirs more so in an oval shape. I like for mine to be high and round, so I'm just gonna let y'all watch. Now that the creases have been cut, I'm going in with that grass green shade, and I'm using it to blend out the edge of her cut crease. I'm going back in with that emerald green shade, and I'm just reapplying it at the edge to make sure that it's shown. And then I'm going in with this lime green shade. I believe this was the color Ecstasy, and I'm applying it to the middle of her cut crease. For the inner corners of her eyes, I mixed together the two shades Why Though and Keen, which is like a mint green and a bright yellow. And I wanted to use more of the mint green because I didn't want the yellow to overtake it. To line her eyes, I'm going in with my Wet n Wild black liquid liner, and I will be doing a wing. Once you're finished lining the eyes, they should look something like this. And now we're gonna go in and add some detail. So originally, y'all, I just wanted to do a plain green look, but I don't know if y'all can tell on camera or not, one of my cut creases was higher than the other. So instead of freaking out, I decided to go in and try to disguise the problem, and ended up accidentally making a flower. This was not planned. I told y'all in my last video, I just let the Lord lead me, and as y'all can see, you can't go wrong when you let the Lord lead, okay? I ended up putting pearls on the outside to mimic petals, and on the inside I just put one big green crystal. I'm going in with some smaller crystals and I'm applying them to the inner of her cut crease, and as y'all can see, I'm leaving a tiny space in between them because now I'm going in with these gold leaf flakes. I purchased these a long time ago, y'all, offline, like when I first began my YouTube journey, and that's been about 3 years, so please don't ask me for a link because I don't have one. But as y'all can see, I took those flakes and applied them between the crystals, and I ended up doing the other flower off camera. So now I'm just finishing up on this eye. We're finished with the eyes for now, so I'm going in with my Pond's moisturizer, and I'm using this to moisturize her face. As y'all can see, I'm applying a generous amount, and now I'm going in with my damp Real Technique sponge, and I'm going to use it to blend out this product. I'm going in with my e.l.f. Matte Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm using this to prime her skin, and to do so I'm using that same Real Technique sponge. I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer in the shade number 10, and I'm using this to kind of color correct her face. As y'all can see, it has an orange tone, so it'll cancel out any darkness. And for her foundation, I'm taking my Fit Me foundation, and I don't remember the shade name, so I'm going to make sure I include it in the description box below. But I'm just applying it straight onto her face, and to blend it out, I'm using this dense foundation brush, and I ordered this brush from Aliexpress for anybody that's interested. To highlight her face, I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer, and it's in the shade 07. I'm going to use whatever excess concealer I have on the brush to clean up the edge of her wings. I'm blending out that concealer using the same brush that I used to blend out her foundation. To blend out the concealer underneath her eyes, I'm going back in with that damp Real Technique sponge. To set the concealer in place, I'm going in with my Fit Me pressed powder, and it's in the shade Golden Caramel. I'm going on top of that Fit Me powder with my Morphe loose powder, and it's in the shade Rich Banana. To bronze up her face, I'm going in with my Black Radiance press powder, and it's in the shade Black Coffee. To set the remaining areas of her face, I'm going in with another Black Radiance press powder, and this one is in the shade Rich Mahogany. I'm going in with some black eyeshadow, and I'm using this to line the edge of her waterline, and then I'm taking some dark green eyeshadow on her lower lash line. I'm going back in with my foundation brush, and I'm using it to press in all of the powder. I'm going to go ahead and spray her face with some setting spray, and while her face is drying, I'm going to go in with lashes. Moving on to the lips. To outline her lips, I'm going in with my Juvias foundation stick, and it's in the shade Congo. For the center of her lips, I'm going in with this Nude liquid lipstick that I'm pretty sure is discontinued, so I won't even name it in this video, but I like to focus it in the center. Then I have my clients press their lips together to help me blend it out, and I use whatever excess lipstick is left on the brush to make sure that everything is nice and blended. Once I'm finished with her lips, that'll be the finished look, and we'll be getting into the grand reveal, so I'm gonna let y'all watch.
Okay, you ready to see?
Yo, that's crazy. That green is stunning. Now I gotta go buy some green.
Okay.
Okay queens, as y'all can see by my client's reaction, this tutorial was another success. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating this look. This is y'all daily reminder to go follow me on Instagram, because my Instagram content is always good and you may see something that you won't see on YouTube. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next one. Bye bye queens.